What is up, everyone? It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, and together today we are going to dive into the center of the fire and explore the topic of the importance of having a vision for your entire life. And in a moment, I am going to explain exactly what that means, and we're going to have a deep dive right into the center of our vision. So, what the hell am I talking about? Well, most men that I have worked with over the past 20 plus years, something has been very consistent. And what I mean by that is when I ask a man, what do you want for your life? The answers that I generally get are very vague. They are non-descriptive, and it's almost as if the man is like a deer in the headlights. So what am I talking about? I'm saying that many of us have never stopped, have never slowed down, have never paused long enough to actually have intention behind what we want to create in our life. Now, as children, as little boys, we had dreams. I wouldn't call it goals or aspirations. I'd say we had dreams. We had no cap. We had no ceiling. We had no limitation as to what we felt was possible. So if we said we were going to be an astronaut, guess what? Some of them became astronauts. If we said we were going to be a cowboy or an Indian or a fireman or a doctor, guess what? No cap on the vision. And one of the quotes that I read all the time from Muhammad Ali is that if your dreams don't scare the shit out of you, then they're not big enough. So most of us as a little boy, we had these big dreams. And then we had these things called parents or friends or the school system doing everything in their power, whether consciously or unconsciously, putting a cap, putting a ceiling, squashing, pushing down on your bigger dream for your life. And most of us are living life by default, not by design. Most men don't really have a clear understanding, a clear picture, a clear vision of where they're actually headed. So there are captains of an airline, there are captains of a ship, and you would never take your passengers on the ship, on the airline, without having the longitude and the latitude plotted out and the destination that you're headed. This is the vision. Here's where we're at. Here's where we want to be. Vision. But most of us don't have that. Most of us are living like day by day, hamster on a wheel, or the merry-go-round, where we go up a little bit, we come back down. We go up a little bit, we come back down, and we're going nowhere because there's no clarity. There's no intention, there's no direction, there's no longitude, there's no latitude. So we wake up one day and we are on this island called How the Hell Did I Get Here? Or Skull Island. Scratching our heads going, what happened? How did I end up divorced? How did I end up not having the business that I'm passionate about, or not having my finances flourishing and operating from a space of abundance? How is it that I'm not happy in my marriage? Or in my health, I don't have vitality? Or how is it that I'm not living into my true mission and my purpose? And the simple answer is you likely didn't have clarity on your vision. And I'm going to explain that further in a moment. But before I go there, just a very gentle reminder that if you're anywhere near the Dallas area, within 15 minutes from the airport, whether you can fly there or whether you can drive, we're having a free workshop for men. We're giving them a taste of our Man on Fire community. It's actually a free workshop that will be led by senior coach Kenneth. And he's going to be helping you guys discover your true vision. Like, what do you really want? What do you want in your life? What do you want in your personal life as it relates to your relationships, as it relates to your health, your vitality? What do you want in your marriage? What do you want as it relates to your business, your career? or what do you want as it relates to your deeper purpose and your mission in your life? And he, together with a couple guys from our team, senior coach Raj and senior coach Michael Halprin, will be leading you guys through an amazing little taste of what we do at our 4-day immersions. And it's a great opportunity. If you're anywhere near the Dallas area, we will post the link below. It is this Saturday. It will be starting at 8 a.m. Central Time. That's November 12th, this Saturday, 20 minutes close to the airport in Dallas. All right. So we're talking, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about how most men don't really have a vision for their life. And most men have really never painted a vision for their life. And that's how we end up on this island called Skull Island, or How the Hell Did I Get Here Island, when deep down, each and every one of you wants to end up on the island called I Love My Life. In fact, Tony Bush, big shout out to you in case you're listening. He's been a member of our brotherhood for 5 years, where he is a part of our inner chamber, which is once you've come to one of our live 4-day immersions, you then have the opportunity to journey with us and take a deeper dive with our inner chamber. We have several hundred men in the inner chamber, and Tony's going on year 5. And he was just at an immersion all but 3 weeks ago, and one of the lines out of his mouth, we can't really curse this much on Facebook, but he basically said, I effing love my life. He said, I love getting up, I love going to work, I love coming home from work, I love my wife, I love everything about my life. And this was a guy that when he first came to us, he didn't have a life. He didn't have a vision. He was drowning in his relationship. He didn't know what it was like to embody his mature masculine and live as a leader. His finances were suffering. He was in a career that he wasn't passionate about. He was barely getting by. And Tony developed a very compelling vision and future for his life, and has been handed the tools and developed the courage and the capacity, and has the support, the challenge, and the accountability from our brotherhood to live into that vision. Now, before I go into a little bit more detail of what I'm speaking about, I want to share something that I read recently. It was an article in the New York Times, and I believe it was about Bryce Harper, a player on the Philadelphia Phillies who just played in the World Series. And the article was from back in the day, where the article basically said that these young kids don't have realistic visions for their life. They don't have realistic dreams. And they need to be taught that this stuff is not practical, and that they can't have these things. Somebody's got to, knock some sense into them. Now, this article was written in response to this man, Harper, who at age 10 said he wants to be a Major League Baseball player and play in the World Series. And the article was written because they're saying that these children don't have realistic goals. They don't have realistic dreams. They don't have a realistic vision for their life. I mean, could you imagine the audacity of someone trying to put a cap, trying to put a ceiling, trying to push down and squash and squander what's possible for you in your life? Remember, Muhammad Ali, if your dreams aren't scaring the shit out of you, then they're not big enough. When did we stop dreaming? And how come we're not living into our dreams? And one of the reasons, I'm sure there's thousands, one of the reasons is we didn't create clarity around our vision. So let me give you an example now of what I'm speaking to. And this is something for you guys that, again, can be anywhere near the Dallas airport on this Saturday, right around 8 a.m. Central Time. You will get a taste, about a 5-hour seminar workshop with 3 of our senior coaches. And you will get a taste of being able to paint your vision for your life and have a taste of what Man on Fire is all about. So, for example, when I ask most guys, when I first meet them, what is it that you want in your life? They'll say, a better relationship. I want to lose some weight. I want to stop drinking. I want to be healthier. I just want to get back her trust. I want to make more money. I want to do something that I enjoy. I don't like my job. It just pays my bills. I mean, and this is usually the answers that I get from men when I ask them what they want. And God bless them because it's genuine and it's sincere, but there's a huge problem. There is absolutely zero specificity, zero refinement, and zero ability to make it quantifiable and measurable, to actually achieve it, attain it, and have it. Can't happen. So, for example, I'll give you more of a practical thing. So, if somebody says, "I want to lose weight," well, it would serve for that person to say something like this: "I currently weigh 300 pounds. My vision is to get down to 200 pounds within the next 365 days. And I'm going to be losing this many pounds per month." And then you start to work on a plan of how you're going to achieve that. How many times a week you're going to be in the gym? How many times during the week you're going to have a trainer? What are the meals you're going to be eliminating and the foods you're going to be eliminating? What are the meals you're going to be adding? To just say you want to lose weight, it's not happening. And even if you do, chances are you'll gain it back because there's no plan. There's no vision crystallization. There's no clarity on the vision. And if you can't measure it, it can't happen. So like a guy that says, "Well, I want to have a happier marriage." What does that mean? And then it's the deer in the headlights. So what does it all mean is you guys are going to have to come up with a greater level of clarity of what you truly want. So my wife and I, and just to keep things very real with you guys, this year we really didn't do it. But every year, until this year, we will take out our giant whiteboard and we will map out our whole year, personally and professionally. Here's what we want to do this year. Here's where we want to travel. Here's how many vacations we want to take. And here's the destinations we want to go to. Here's how many people we want to serve. Here's how much money we want to generate. Here's how much money we want to make contributions to. Here are the charities that we want to give it to. Here's how many date nights we're going to do. Like, we have everything mapped out with total clarity. And it's amazing because we do that on January, right around January 2nd, January 3rd. And then the next year on January 1st, we bust out our list and we see what did we accomplish on that list. How close did we come to the vision that we had laid out? But if we just said, "Oh, this year I want to have a great year. I want to have more fun. I want to have more intimacy." Like, well, how are you going to do that? What do you mean by more intimacy? Do you mean that you want to go on 3 dates per week? You want to make love 4 days per week? We used to do it once. Now you want to make love 4 times a week? Like, what does that mean? Can you challenge yourself to really write it out and have that ability to have clarity and speak it into existence, write it into existence so it exists? It becomes alive, right? Like Conor McGregor, when he won the second belt in the UFC, they said, "How did you do this?" He said, "I dreamt it into reality," meaning it started with a dream, then all the hard work to back up the dream, and then it became a reality. It took physical shape and form. It created a structure that was real and tangible. Look, here's the belt, over one shoulder, over the other shoulder. He had 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. How? Dream, vision, where he created clarity behind the dream. Relentless work, support, challenge, accountability from coaches, teammates, right? That's the backbone of Man on Fire. It's all about support. It's all about challenge, and it's all about accountability, because so many of us say what we want. "I want to be a millionaire." Great. What's your plan? Great. Who's going to hold you accountable? Right? And then it's crickets. So you ask a man, "What do you want?" Usually deer in the headlights, or there's no compelling future or no vision that's laid out, and certainly there's no clarity behind it. So I'm here speaking to you guys to invite you into expanding the way that you're seeing your life, and realize that the only limitation of having a more grand life, a more beautiful life filled with rapture and awe, where you wake up and you love your life and you end up on this island called "I love my life," is get the capacity to dream bigger and then start to refine and have clarity and specificity over what you truly want. And you're going to be shocked to see how many of those things you could truly have if you dare, if you're courageous enough to actually speak it into existence. And remember, get more specific. Don't say I want to lose weight. Say how many pounds you want to lose weight and by when. And then you can reverse engineer and you can come up with the plan of how you're going to do that. But to just say you're going to lose weight or I want to make more money, it's not happening. You know that. Look in the mirror, ask yourself, has it happened? And the answer will be no. Or even if you did it, you'll go back to the old ways because you didn't have a vision. You didn't have a plan that you can execute on, like a structure that you could follow. And then for most men that we've worked with, very, 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 very challenging to do this alone, right? And it's like no one needs to be a lone wolf. You can travel in a pack. You can travel in a tribe. You can travel amongst brothers. You can get support. You can get challenged. You can be pushed and stretched beyond your comfort zone and held accountable to a higher version of yourself. That is what is all behind the Man on Fire community, is making sure that we really know what a man wants for his life with total clarity and then holding his ass to the fire, holding him accountable to living into what you truly want. Now, it's a way bigger conversation. We're not going to go there today. It's not, these things that a lot of us want, what's very inconspicuous, meaning it hides, it's not visible for you. More often than not, the things that we say we want are really a means of trying to outrun our pain, feelings of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. I'm not lovable. So we think if we have these things, then I'm going to be happy. But the truth is, you're trying to accumulate those things to get away from a feeling that you don't know how to be with. And so that's why there are so many millionaires and billionaires that are miserable or take their life, because you can't outrun your own pain. There comes a point where you have to face it. There comes a point where you have to turn around and face the lion, face the beast, face the dragon. And in Man on Fire, we specialize in helping a man develop that courage to be able to turn around and face the very things that he's been running from his whole life. This way, when you do create a vision for yourself, it's not based on a form of pain management, meaning you're not trying to get away from a feeling. You're moving towards a feeling. That's different than trying to get away from. Most men spend their whole life trying to get away from. Nobody likes pain. Nobody likes to feel like they're not good enough. Nobody likes to feel unworthy and unlovable. So we have all these mechanisms in place, whether it's overachieving and building wealth, or whether it is hurting other people, or whether it's hurting ourselves in different ways. We all are trying to escape this hell, this pain, and it doesn't work. So what works is learning how to face all that, which we teach men. And for those of you that are going to be able to join Coach Kenneth and Michael and Raj at the free event just outside of the Dallas airport, about 15-20 minutes driving distance, you'll get a taste of that. For those of you that want to explore the possibility of coming to one of our 4-day immersions, which is our signature event where we have about 32 guys in a room for 4 days, and we help you shed all of the armor, help you shed all of the layers of who you're not. Take off all of the masks, all of the facade, the fake, the fraud, the phony, the bullshit, and just raw and naked. Here I am, exposed, and then remind you of who you truly are, build you back up into the remembrance of who you always were and how you got away from being that person. And through so much love and respect and admiration, something magical happens at our programs where a man starts to remember the bigness of who he is and why he came here. And there's nothing more beautiful than to witness that sparkle and that gleam and the innocence of that little boy inside of us coming back to life, where you can dream big again and you can live into the vision that you came here to live into. And this is why most of us are in pain, right? There's this life that we thought we'd have, and then there's this life that we're living, and there's this gap. And so Man on Fire is one of many beautiful organizations out there that like to usher you along the journey and fill that gap. Go from the life you have to the life you truly want and desire, that was designed by your soul before the limitations of your mind and other people placed upon you started to take over. It's all about helping you make that courageous journey from your head to your heart and really live into the true potential of who you were born to be. All right, guys, that is all we're going to cover today. I'd love it if you haven't already. How you could honor me is by smashing up that like key, throwing a few comments in there, throw me a fire sign. It could be a knuckleball, curveball, fastball, slider, whatever you want. Throw those fire signs at me. I can take the heat, right? I can take the heat. And yes, share this with other guys. If you found value in this, I'd love it if you could share this with other men. For those of you that are already in our brotherhood, in our inner chamber, and you ever want to put a comment in, sharing with men your experience of what it's been like to be a part of our brotherhood, that's always welcomed. For the new guys, that wonder, who are we, what are we about, are we just trying to sell guys something, or who are we, and it's important that they understand the genuineness and the love behind our organization, and that we are one of many beautiful organizations that exist in this world that are real and that are here to help and help a man rise with more passion and authentically live in his power and live a life of deeper purpose and meaning. That's why we're all here. And in doing so, something beautiful happens where we really feel compelled to want to protect and guard and be the gatekeeper to the beautiful hearts of all the feminine, all the females out there. That is our mission. That is our purpose, to live fully into our potential, give our gifts to the world, and protect the hearts of our loved ones, especially the females out there, where many of them have been let down by men not living into the fullness of what they're capable of living into. All right, guys, it's with so much deep honor and respect for each and every one of you. It's your man on fire mentor, David Mailer. Don't forget, there will be a link below shortly where if you want to come to one of our free workshops led by senior coach Kenneth and Raj and Michael Halprin, they will see you on Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Time, right near the Dallas International Airport. Love you guys. See you soon.